Neil.
Yes.
Guess what? Guess what?
We tried it back. We tried.
We're back.
We're back.
Let me get rid of this. Familiar scene, everybody. Welcome back to another fabulous Off the Lip radio show. Neil, it's show number 588. 588, and you might notice the background. We are back at the beautiful Santa Cruz boardroom right here in Pleasure Point. Could not be a better night. You want to know why? We got the mayor here tonight.
The legend.
The mayor of Pleasure Point is here with us tonight.
Let me see if this microphone works. That microphone work? Test.
Test.
Let me hear you.
Check.
Am I on?
Let me just see. You turn it off.
Double check. Get on the up. So tonight, Marcel Soros is here, everybody. A fixture in the water off of Pleasure Point. An amazing surf contest scorecard. We're going to talk about all that.
Okay. Keep going.
Double check.
Yeah.
And he told me tonight it's going to be unfiltered. So Marcel, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. It's great to be here, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah.
My good friend. Neil, you too, and
Angela's,
the
of
better
course.
half.
Oh, shh. Neil's girlfriend's here, but we don't know her name.
Yeah, shh.
Marcel, we're going to start the show. By the way, look at this beautiful... Neil, can you show us the tablecloth right now?
Hang on a second.
Little
I'm
history from
freaking out
Santa
right here.
Cruz.
There we go.
We're podcasting and we're
Podcasting right here.
live feeding too.
On the Off the Lip radio show from the Santa Cruz boardroom.
Live on Santa Cruz
Wow.
Waves right now.
Yeah, right, we're live.
Okay, so if anybody wants to talk about Marcel on Santa Cruz Waves, please do. We'd love to hear your comments.
If he's burned you at all,
Maybe he went by on it, totally barreled and splashed you, but let us know
I
because
think
something.
I've been on my best behavior recently.
if you've been burned,
If I haven't, let me know.
if you've been burned by Marcel Soros, please raise your hand or call. You can't call in.
No,
Well-
as of recently, since COVID.
I don't think.
Because
Okay,
I've learned a lot since COVID.
so post-COVID, Marcel's
Yeah,
a
more
gentler
cruising,
surfer? Gentle
maybe,
cruiser?
yeah, I like the wave pool.
Okay, so the good news is Marcel's 55 years old, so pre-COVID gives you about 50 years of surfing with Marcel with no rules at Pleasure Point. So
Those were good times. Where were my parents? I don't know. Marcel!
Lily was at the beach watching.
Yeah.
She was at Rockview.
Swimming topless.
Topless,
Yeah,
of course. We,
Let me ask you a question. Who was the most pissed off person that you burned? Who was like the angriest person that you've ever burned? And you know you've burned many.
it could be a segue.
We're going to have to think about that one.
No.
But Tim Larkin's right up there.
Tim Larkin's
Yeah.
right up there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way,
See,
Larkin's called in on the show about that.
And I'm gonna.
If you could find it,
I had the
Hopefully he's
recording.
not still disgruntled from 30 years ago.
he is.
Unfortunately.
Larkin,
He's still pissed.
if you're listening,
No, I will post that on Facebook. I'll post that
his call.
his call that he made a few years ago.
Marcel, who got you into surfing? Let's go way back because everyone knows you have a prolific career in surfing. You're an industry leader. You've been in this industry your entire life. Where did it start?
It started early with my parents at the Dream Inn, and we'd go to the beach every day because they didn't work, and they do massages at the beach, and I found a raft, and I started rafting, and after that I met a friend, and his name was Connor Carey, and his mother took us surfing officially at Cows Beach when I was...
Well, the same Connor Carey, Santa Cruz police officer.
Correct. And he had a family of maybe 8 kids or 10 kids, with their adopted kids too, so it was probably 10 kids, and I befriended him, and his mother was really amazing with helping all the kids, and she taught me how to surf.
Was it ever weird being the
First
kid?
day.
How old were you?
I think I was 7.
Was it weird being the kid whose mom was always topless at the beach?
Very uncomfortable.
I mean, yeah, I'd be kind of bummed
No,
out,
actually,
like topless.
It was a freaking
Always.
It was a nightmare because I was very conservative then, and still I am a little. And I'm like, this is way too much for me. And that's all my friends, Kurt Gallagher especially, rest in peace. They'd heckle me.
Well, because she was European.
Yes, that's how they did
They
it.
just
That's
whipped
how
it
they
off,
did
right?
it. Yeah.
And she was well endowed European.
very endowed.
Yeah.
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 It was it was definitely a show. She was swimming. By the time we made it down to 36th Avenue, I already heard about it.
It's a true
She'd
story.
swim at Rockview.
Rockview. Well,
When there was sand. When there was.
Yeah, well, that's. I mean, I surfed Rockview a lot back then.
Yeah, when
And I
there was
would see-
sand. But
yeah.
I was surfing there today, and there's literally 50 feet of sand erosion, so you could never swim there again.
Yeah, right.
Like what we went through.
Right.
It's over.
Your mom, though, was one of the nicest people down there.
Absolutely.
You would be a hi, Lily. Hello, Terry. She was wonderful.
Yeah, she definitely was my rock in my life. And, as you know, she died of old age this year. And she was definitely my inspiration
Huge
for
supporter.
surfing. Marcel, go surfing. It's so healthy for you every day.
Yeah.
Told me to go surfing. I'm like, okay.
She supported your surfing.
Correct.
She
Yeah.
supported when you decided I'm going to do dinghy repair.
Correct.
She supported when you decided to be a rep. Here we are all
She
these
even
years
supported
later.
me when I used to write my own notes for school. Like, Marcel, tell me, are you sick today? I'd write, Marcel's not feeling well, and then she'd sign it. So I'd write my own notes, and she'd sign off on it.
Wow.
Yeah. So I cut school a lot.
Well, there's a.
Well, back then you could.
I always say there's success and then there's success. Like your mother embraced the surfing success,
But she loved it.
and you took that to a career.
Correct. For a short time, and actually,
Well,
my
not
entire
just
life.
surfing, but your industry ties.
Yeah, because I've had the same job around surfing my entire. So I've been around surfing my entire life.
Your entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Correct.
it's
Since
never
I've-
changed.
No, I surf every day.
Have you had a job outside of surfing?
Yeah, Cliff Cafe.
Oh yeah, we both did that.
What you do
Yeah,
there?
yeah. Dishwasher.
Dishwasher,
Yeah,
yeah, I did it too.
Yeah, of course. And I was a busboy at El Palomar. At 9, I had to paper route at the Sentinel until I got fired for trying to pull a fast one and not putting the inserts in. Big issue. I got many complaints.
So you're like the postal guy that puts all the advertisements in the
I
trash?
just threw it over the fence. that was the only time I've been fired, actually.
You were like the first Astrodeck dude.
At 19, yeah.
Yeah.
And we had big meetings with 25 of all the best surfers in town, from Chris Gallagher to.
Held it down.
Yeah, I had a podium. Remember that?
You had a
I was
podium?
extremely into my position of speaking in front of others. I even took public speaking back then in college.
Have you
At
seen
Cabrillo,
Herbie
that-
Fletcher lately? When was the last time you saw Herbie?
I have not. No, I have not seen him
In a while?
in a long time. But
'Cause
he
you
was-
flew
he
that
was my,
flag.
No, he was my inspiration.
You
Him
had a
and
little
Dean-
car and it
Dean-
said Astrodeck
Yeah,
down the
I
side.
was a fan of. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were all fans of each other, right? I was his first rep in Northern California, and gave more promo out than I sold, so they had to let go of it.
TC, we got skateboards here tonight. What's going on with the skateboards here?
Okay, so, well, it's just funny because I'm working on a new store in Capitola Village. So these are a few boards.
Which is
that I'm-
opening when?
Who knows?
Couple
Soon.
weeks?
Couple weeks,
Okay.
yeah. But these are some boards I'm getting ready to. I'm moving stuff around. But real quick, the original Santa Cruz skateboard. All these.
Look how classic that is.
Every board
That's
that we're
amazing.
talking about
Can you hold
actually
that? Can you hold
was.
them up for me?
They were all actually manufactured in this exact building we're in right now.
Right.
So this board,
How old's that board?
1973, and
Wow.
it's got Road Riders on it. It might be 74 because
And
that came a little bit
the
later.
value of that board is?
Oh, a couple $100, maybe $300.
Okay.
This is a Dave Griddle slalom board. Again, it came out of this exact building, but he's from Sacramento. It's actually I believe a Henry Hester H-bomb. They kind of did this light blue during that time period, which is this one also, the carbon. So this is the graphite loaded slalom board, kind of the same shape, same deal. This is a 5-ply. This changed skateboarding. This is an
Right.
original Santa Cruz 5-ply. It's when they changed from like fiberglass and solid oak
Yeah.
to plies.
Right,
You can
right.
make them
L-
thinner, lighter,
right,
stronger.
right.
And this is the predecessor to the modern skateboard.
Right.
And what's great about this board, this is an original from mid-70s, and these little squares that you can see these little squares?
Yeah.
It's where they put little pieces of grip tape because this is pre-shrink wrap, and they would stack them for shipping, and they didn't want them
Right.
to scratch it up. So
Right.
pretty neat. Solid oak right here. Tim Primarda They used an electric brand
Looks
in
like
the
a-
in the back room at this
Here?
building. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tim Primarda told me that Novak was so cheap that so when he would brand it, he would get an electric shock every time
Why?
he'd pull the handle down because they didn't have a good ground. And but they wouldn't like fix it. So every time Primarda, who still works at Santa Cruz Skateboards, every time he would and cook us,
He electrocuted.
and you hang on for all of your life and then let it off and sweat.
So these are all these four going to be in your new store.
5.
5.
Boom.
And
Yeah.
Pereira donated today?
Mr. Steve Pereira gave me a giant 8-foot by 8-foot Jim Phillips
right.
original Woody canvas. It's
Beautiful.
beautiful. Yeah. That's hanging up there right now. So,
And
anyways,
all kinds of new stuff.
yeah.
When's Capitol?
A couple weeks. Yeah.
A couple weeks.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe 10 days.
Nice.
We're working
Wow,
on it.
really?
Yeah, close.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
awesome.
Back to Marcel.
Back to Marcel.
I met you, Marcel. Actually, we didn't meet that day. I just want to talk about this quick story real
Okay.
quick because I think it's fun.
Is this the bicycle story?
It is a bicycle story
you guys
because
know that.
my friends moved here before I did, and so I had friends who would drive me to Santa Cruz, and this is late 70s, and we rode our bikes to Pleasure Point one day because they had bikes.
Explain how where we met too. The Sewer Peak block. how
Yeah,
it
yeah,
used to
for
be,
sure.
'cause
Yes,
no
exactly.
one really knows what it used to be like.
We used to surf the point,
Unless you're
and I was the youngest kid of that group, pretty much. And we rode our bikes to the sewer block, and you were there, and you didn't recognize me, and you were like, "Hey, kid," and I'm like, "Whatever," and I parked my bike, and we all parked our bikes, and then we scrambled down and we paddled out. And then,
walked you?
and you yelled at
No,
me.
this is the
Sewer
Sewer
Peak.
Peak.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah.
the
It was
sewer
just
block. Yeah,
A sewer block with no house on it. and
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. No,
where I
there wasn't a
first-
house.
First smoked a cigarette inside the place, right? It was
Yeah.
it was kind of it used to be an
It
old
was a-
swimming hole, right?
Well, no, it was the pump house for the Sewer Peak pipe.
Correct.
That's what it was. But they when it was abandoned, it was left, and it was where you check the surf, the spot where you held down.
Kind of like where
Just where you held it down.
where the alley is right
Yeah.
now. Like,
Yeah.
It was a good place to check. Sewer
And
Peak.
and so Marcel sees me, and I'm like 16 or 17 or 16. Yeah.
And I'm 13.
You're 13. And he's like, "Hey, dude, who are you?" And I'm like, "Whatever, bro." And I park my bike, and I paddle out. And then he yells at me from up on the sewer block, "Hey, bro!" And he throws a bicycle off, and I go, "That's not my bike."
By the way, there was a lot worse things that happened back then besides that.
And
And
so,
if you didn't get beat up back then, that you were doing pretty good.
Right?
for
'Cause
sure.
I got actually sent away from Sewer Peak more than once.
By whom? Who beat you
Pat
up?
Quigley would be one. No,
Pat-
beat me up. He just sent me away. Right.
well, and Pat
Yeah,
said,
and I was so young, and they called me Marshmallow, and it was really I was their younger kid,
Right.
and his girlfriend liked me, Isla,
Quigley's girlfriend.
yeah, Isla.
Don't mess with Quigley's
And
girlfriend.
now she's Isla Dyer, right? So they're
Yeah.
she was really the only girl there that actually had any kind of compassion for me because I was getting kind of
Beaten up.
pretty much sent away.
Right.
But she got me in a little bit.
Marcel made people really mad because he was a really good surfer. And I think in life, whenever you're really good at something, you piss people off.
Yeah.
Period. And so if somebody's been sitting there for a couple of sets and Marcel catches one and you paddle back out, they come right to him. And he's got arms like 7 feet long.
Right,
I used to
He's
get
got a
2
wingspan.
waves. I
Yeah,
used
yeah.
to get 2 waves in a set. I recently have gotten that, and it feels good. But back then, I used to try to get 2 waves in a set. First wave, maybe second.
No, he'd
third.
paddle. I know your trick, bro. He'd paddle back out, and he would duck dive a couple, and then turn around in the whitewater and stand up. And all of a sudden, you're like, I got it. And you're like, you just caught the last one. How are you behind me?
Well, that's my favorite.
That's your
one.
favorite
Yeah.
one. I know it is your favorite one.
And the other one is lifting the nose up when you're burning me.
Oh
That's
yeah,
my
I can
favorite.
see you out the back.
Yeah.
So he was really good at that because out of nowhere he would say, "Hey, bro, and you're like, "Where'd you come from?" So that's the greatest MO ever.
I only
by
had
the
the
way.
one. I just had the one story when I called him up to see if he come on the show. I think, you called me to come on the show. You want to come on the show? I think a couple weeks ago.
No. You invited me on the show.
I don't know.
Third time now.
Something happened
No,
where I'm
it's
like,
you.
something happened where I'm like, no, this is not going to be good because it's going to be the Marcel Soros legend. How I am.
Was that
And
the
I didn't know
roast?
you that, but didn't know that. Right. I didn't know you that well, but then I go, we hung up, and it wasn't a good hang up. It was like, fuck you. And then I called you back like 5 minutes later. I go, hey, you know what? The only way I'm going to have you come on the show is if we do a Marcel Soros roast.
Oh, that's right.
And
Now
you hung
you're
up
right.
on me
Yeah,
again.
yeah,
You're
that's
like,
right.
I didn't do that. I am not doing that. Fucking hung up on me.
That roast
2
went
minutes
well.
later, he calls me back up.
The roast went.
Yeah.
He goes, that's a good idea, Neil. That's a really good idea. And Nelly came down. And
Is that the
Rapolo
night
came
that
down.
Tim Larkin called in
Larkin
with the
called
famous?
in, and
Yeah.
Nelly was
Yeah.
there, and then Nelly was there, and Rapolo was there.
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of guys. Who else? God knows who else was there, but your
Megan
first,
and
Megan
Jordan was there. Yeah,
Oh, it was a big show.
big show.
I think I was in Mexico that night.
I don't know.
But I did see, speaking of AR, I saw AR's six-pack on social media
I did see.
today.
He looks good, huh?
What the hell's going on with
Yeah,
that?
he's working out.
That's a six-pack. AR flaunting that stuff
Hey,
on.
what's going on?
I know,
Working
he
out
thinks-
behind her
Who,
back?
Rapolo?
Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I see him at yoga the other day.
Hey,
he was dying.
AR's got a
He was
six-pack right
sucking
now.
wind.
You
He
sure
was-
you saw him there?
Yeah, he was sucking wind though.
No, I've
he came
never
out.
seen him
He
there.
didn't want to talk to me. He would walk right by me like, I'm at it.
You
Unbelievable.
really sure you saw him there?
I saw him there. He was there with his girlfriend with
Maya.
Maya.
Yeah.
So
They're
that's
they're
what-
they're,
that's
they're
one of the six-
vacationing right now,
In
and
Ve-
Adam's flaunting his
I saw that. Yeah,
six-pack.
the six
So the
pack.
six-pack, he snuck a six-pack in
He
over
did.
there.
Hey, well, because he had kind of a 12-pack, like I'm
He
kind of
had the
flaunting right
12
now.
going.
Marcel, how
Yes.
many contests have you won? Do you know?
Close to 100.
100 surf
Come
contests?
on.
I believe it.
Well, it could
No,
be,
it
it could be
used-
more actually.
You used to piss off everybody. You,
But
yeah.
it was only as amateur, so as a pro, no.
Yeah.
So nothing.
You know the
as a
good
pro.
news is when I was a kid, I was always like 3 years older than him.
Yeah.
So I had to deal with Will Church.
Who always wins?
Wins every time. It was terrible.
I'm going to have to compete with him 2 weeks from now for the
What?
board riders, Santa Cruz board riders situation.
And
I'm
Will
looking
Church
for a
is
spot. So Pete's already in, and you know to get in, you have to go against all your other 50-year-olds. So I'm going to compete with Will and
Roof?
Roof, of course.
Oh.
So I'm going against Roof and all the 50-year-olds.
And you've been having a good time doing that, huh?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? You know why I like it so much? It's not you. It's you supporting the team. So if you let the team down, you almost
Right.
feel bad for the team. So it's not like you winning the contest. It's more like you better do well for the team. So,
I heard when you went to Huntington. Did you go to Huntington?
No, the lane.
But did you not go to a Southern
No,
Club?
I got the
The lane one.
Yeah,
You
I
were
got
like the
MVP.
VIP.
Yeah, I'd like to get that
Yeah.
again, please.
One more time.
Yeah.
You were
A
MVP
couple-
at the lane for the Santa Cruz board riders.
During a out of town event.
Right.
Yeah. So I got only one wave, and I got a high score to help the team. So they have it from 12-year-olds to 50-year-olds, right?
Exactly,
So,
yeah.
So you got to.
You win the whole deal.
I
the
did well. I
MVP
did
is-
well for the 50-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Marcel Soros, everybody.
I want to talk about Megan. I want to talk about that time that you went through when I got my microphone right here. I want to talk about because you've come through with flying colors. 'Cause that
Come
was
a long
really-
way since then. Yeah,
That was a really
it
difficult
definitely
time.
was
I knew you through that time, but you lost your wife gave birth to your second child.
Mhm.
And how long?
Took
how
him home without a mother, and
What's that?
took
Yeah,
Julian home
right.
without mom.
Right.
So that was a heavy experience for me.
Super
That was a
heavy.
day of reckoning, so to speak. And
But there was. Can I say one thing? If there's one person that could handle it, it was you.
thank you.
How did you handle that?
Because you lost. She died. How long after did she give birth to
7 months after she
7 months
passed.
after she passed?
She was really amazing. She told me, "Hey, you got this. Get to work, right? Keep working. Move on. Take care of the kids. I fucking love you." And we left on really beautiful terms. Kind of like with my mother. I was right there for
Did
the
she
very
know she
last
was
breath.
going? Did she know she?
Oh yeah, we were there for the last hospice, when they go, "Hey, you ready to go?" And she never gave up until the very last day because it was over. When it's over, you roll up to the finish line of life, it's over. Like my mother and her,
Right.
you know when it's over.
Right.
And I'm so glad I could be there for such a actually sad but amazing time in life when you need your loved ones there, and I was right there.
Yeah.
And so, to fast forward, I have a really amazing new, fantastic
Yep.
lady in my life named
Uh-huh.
Tracy, and her kids, a 7 and 9-year-old boys that I've taken in is our new, I call us a new age Brady Bunch. So I have 4 kids. My boy our boy just turned 4, our youngest one.
Today, right?
Today is
Right.
happy
Wow.
birthday, Julian.
Right.
Julian.
And then we have Dean, who's 7, and Jordan, who is 8, and Grant, who's 9, and we have them all at Good Shepherd. Which, by the way, highly recommend. And
Yeah,
you guys
it's cool.
in this town who are confused or not happy with the public school system, it's not that expensive. And
My wife worked there. She loved it.
And by the way,
Yeah,
your
loved
kids are worth what I'm paying.
Right.
It's not. It's,
Right.
it's not compared to most public schools, maybe in the Bay Area or San Francisco.
Right.
There's no comparison.
Right.
I don't know why I didn't go there.
Right.
Like my parents blew it. What I've seen in the last year with these kids, or 2 years that we've been there, every day they're getting better
Yeah.
in every way.
Yeah, they're on.
These kids are every
Awesome.
one of these kids
Right.
that go there. Sean Dollar's kids.
Right.
That's how I found it. One day Sean was telling me, "Oh, Mark, we just moved into town," and I go, "What's going on?" And our kids go to Good Shepherd, and we're like, Tracy goes, well, "I'm not so psyched about the public school system here." And next thing you know, we looked into it, and we had him there the next week.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Looking back on what you went through, is there like advice or like something you've learned that somebody that because life is life. What made you wake up and like jump out of bed, or what made you continue on? Is there something you could offer? Because every day somebody new is going through what you're dealing with.
Definitely your kids, right? That was a huge inspiration for me, right? You have to do it for your children. There was this
You had a 7-month-old.
correct. So I really wasn't like thinking like I'm gonna crumble.
Yeah.
I thought about when I first heard about it, I'm like, I could just crumble and like give up, and these grandparents will take care of them. I'm like, no, I'm not that kind of guy. And I really, really love my children. And so I was like, I'm gonna, to answer your question, like,
But
I think the time will heal you, but when you're going through the process, you really got to jump in and go through the pain and suffering to get to the other end to be okay. But you can't escape it. You can't really do drugs or alcohol to
Right.
make it better, right? It's
The darkness is not the answer.
no,
You
and,
go
and
back-
I
you
and I
go
didn't
back-
do
you
any
go-
of it. Like I moderately drink. I didn't drink for a few years during the whole process. Like not a sip, just to go through the process of pain and suffering.
Right.
Right.
Well, you have a career and a family, and you're mourning, and you have to try to figure all that out at the same time.
Correct. It was, to be honest with you, I'm surprised I was able to do this well
Marcel,
with the
but
situation.
you were one of the very few people that could do that.
Thank
Of
you.
all people I know, of all people I know.
I'm really proud of you.
No,
Thank you.
But
Yeah,
you know,
seriously.
I'm proud of myself.
You should be.
Thank
You really should be, because life is not easy,
No, it's not.
and for people who it is easy for, you're the lucky ones, because it's not easy, and you're like the 1%ers. And what you're going through, what my biggest point saying is, I think your lesson that you've learned and how you've responded is a great example for other people.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, because there is the sun's gonna rise tomorrow.
You will be okay, but you have to do the work. You got to go through the pain and suffering, and you do have to take care of yourself and your children.
Right.
No matter what, and your fucking career, right? You cannot like my father-in-law and Megan. Like I was ready to like quit everything. I'll be on your side and wait for you to go. Like be here at your beck and call. And she'd like they're like, no, get to work. And I'm like, I had a hard time working.
I bet.
Like that was the hardest part for me is go back to work.
Right.
And I think that helped me. And now I love work, right? Years later, I'm like, God, the sales agency I have with all these great brands, and I can employ an amazing sales rep out of Tahoe who can buy a house and a car. I've never paid someone this much money. I'm making a great living on the beach, not driving a million miles a year. I drive from Big Sur to Bodega. He circles the lake. You know, we conquer and divide the stupid valley, which no one wants to go to. So we have a really good understanding, and we conquer and divide with all these brands and give them the service these brands want, which they want a lot. You know, these sales managers want more and more and more, as you know.
Right.
TC. It's
Yeah.
never good enough.
No, there's a treadmill.
And all these brands I have, I've doubled or tripled the sales, so they don't really grind on like you're not doing very well, because I'm doubling numbers and tripling numbers just because of having a team versus me doing it all myself. Like
Which is very hard.
Can I just say one thing? I met you and I wrote about you in an article. I wrote an article in the paper about you. People came up to me and go, "What the fuck you writing an article about Marcel for? Fuck that guy." Right? It was.
Is that the wave catching reputation I still have?
Maybe.
Then?
Who gives a shit? Why you writing? And people came up to
Windmill
me.
arms.
People came up to me after I wrote that in the Sentinel about you. There was a nice picture of Megan and you and your child right in the paper. Remember? Mm-hmm. And then you know what? When she passed away, I'm like, you know, the only person I knew that would maybe got this was you. I mean, I would have folded. I mean, that was most people would fall apart like a cheap tent. But yeah, I knew you had it, and I knew you had it. I knew you because you were going back and forth to Harpoon Bay. I knew things were very, very hard.
Yeah,
very difficult.
For a year I had support with Megan's parents.
Right, and they live in Harpoon Bay.
Yeah, so I took the support for a year, and then I finally, you know, what happened, my mom needed support too, so I'm like, okay, I have to like take care of her too, so that was happening at the same time. Like I was taking care of Megan and my mother at the same time.
Yeah.
In Dominican.
Makes you an unbelievable human being.
Like,
Makes
wow.
you
I go, could it get any worse? Yeah.
It could be two different hospitals. Is that worse? I mean,
It was the same hospital, so it was actually kind of
but-
convenient because I could see both of them at one time at least. But
who would have predicted you would be going through that? You know, I mean, obviously our loved ones. My mom's 94.
never know.
She was in the ICU yesterday, so I get the mom part. But your spouse is who would? How can you? I'm impressed, Marcel, that you still have a skip to your step.
thank you.
Yeah, I am, because you do, and that's a great example. That life continues even through turmoil.
I think us humans are very resilient, and if you are like one of those people, I think this makes you who you are, right? Like I think it will make you. Pain and suffering creates character and grace, and makes you even more of a powerful human if you go through the process of, you know, the pain.
Right.
You have to process it.
Can I ask you what was your lowest point? What was your lowest point, and how did you make it through?
Oh, my lowest point is when I was told 2 weeks to live, and so I called my oldest daughter at the time, and you know, because I was having a struggle at midnight, and her and I spoke, and she told me I have this, and I knew I had it, but she reinforced it. But I felt like who am I to call right now? So I called my closest person I love, which was Kayla at the time, and we spoke, and she goes, "Hey, Dad, you got this."
And what did you think?
I go, "I got this." I went to bed, the next morning I was better, but I was at low time at midnight thinking about it after getting the worst news you could ever get.
Right.
It's over, 2 weeks, you know, prepare.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was my lowest point. And then processed it through, and a couple years, you know, go by, and you're going to be okay. But I do think, you know, exercise and diet and surfing helped me a little bit. You know, a lot of that. You know, your class you go to, Neil, was beneficial for me. You know?
Yeah, keep the
Doing
focus.
some yoga.
Yeah, a lot of exercise.
Right.
I truly believe that helps you get through some hard times. It's tons of exercise.
Yeah.
Can we blow up the brands? The Soros enterprise?
Yeah, so I have a sales agency, a little sales
let's
agency.
blow up the brands.
Agency.
Yeah.
And in the last couple years, especially, I've onboarded some nice new brands, but I've had Sunbum the longest, or not the longest. I've had Electric 21 years. And sunglasses. I've been in the sunglass business for 21 years. In addition, now Electric now licensees Volcom sunglasses, their price point glasses and goggles. But our best anchor brand would be Sunbum, Pure Vita, Hemlock Hats, SandCloud, which we just onboarded, which is amazing, new towel brand, and Carver, of course. Thank you, TC, for all your business.
Carver
And
Skateboards.
for hard goods, because I'm just a big, passionate believer in all this, I still have, and I'm still, or I'm part of it, and I'm actually part of the team. with or grown this little wetsuit brand called Isurus, which are Yamamoto
I have
wetsuits.
two of those wetsuits.
Yeah,
They're
of
awesome.
course you do.
And Yamamoto makes the
gave
best
us-
rubber,
And
right?
only a few brands have Yamamoto, so if you can't afford them, it's the brand, and they're niche-y, so not everyone.
And where are they available at?
Freeline, right
Okay,
next
right next door to
and
Freeline.
online, and online.
They're awesome.
But you're
wetsuits.
paying like $650 or $550, $700 retail.
For a wetsuit.
Yeah, so not
Well-
everyone likes that.
Every Googler in Pleasure Point's like, chump change.
And I still have
And you got it
lost.
hanging off the mirror of the.
Yeah, they're like, whatever. I tip my coffee barista that in the morning.
And then to finish it up, it takes 9 months for a retailer to get your lost surfboards. And I work for surfboards, not commissions. So I love those boards, but I just love surfboards. So I'm kind of one of those guys. If I wasn't the rep, I'd be buying all boards, and I have too many boards, too many lost. And I write a new board every
So is
every
Matt
time I
making your-
surf.
Matt
every
makes
time
your
I s-
boards?
Yeah,
You get Matt's?
Yeah, with my name on them. It takes 9 months, but every time I surf, I try to surf with how my vibe feels for the conditions. Like today was super offshore, so I'm constantly looking at different boards and fins because of Adam. He's helped me because I was clueless. I didn't even know what to ride. I'm like, I have no clue because I've not really paying attention for a decade now. I'm really paying attention to fins, trying all boards, all conditions, and now I just love long boards, short boards, body surfing, boogie boarding, just being in the
Love it
water.
all.
Yeah, just whatever. If I can be in the water every day, that will be my my secret to longevity.
Who do you have out there coming out now? You in the lineup. Who's the guy that's you know what?
The guy.
Who's the guy? Who's
Who's better than Marcel?
Who's the guy you do a battle with right
No,
now?
because I'm going. We're taking it differently at Super
You
Peak,
are?
that is, yeah. Is anyone older like Phil? He's 7 years old. If Randy French shows up tomorrow, he's automatically up. If you're if it's
The
your
eldest
child,
statesman.
if it's your child that I know, like hey, it's second generation, and you're just getting into surfing, Cooper, come on over here, honey, you're up. Like Zealand had a friend from Costa Rica. I'm like, Zealand, get her in the into the corner pocket. She's never gonna get a wave over there. She's an out of towner, of course, and she wants to have a good time. You're not even getting her. You're literally doing her a misservice. Get her in the bowl, right? Get her a wave. There's too many people, and now it's
Right.
coming to a point where, like when I first started surfing, you're
Well,
gonna
you're
get,
giving away your secrets.
Yeah, you're gonna get your wave.
He's an older statesman.
He's landing them like planes on an aircraft carrier out there at Sewer Peak now.
Yeah,
that
Phil,
never
I'm like,
happened
Phil,
back
hey,
in the
Phil,
day.
you going? Like even today, did you get some good ones? Even we all backed off yesterday. Phil, you going? And we all waited and backed away, and
Do
he
you
got
have a
his wave.
favorite memory
Oh
of
my
burning
gosh.
somebody? Is there a favorite burn story that you like? That was I'm gonna take to my grave. That was incredible.
No. We used to burn boogie boarders and longboarders all day long, and back then, girls, but not anymore. I got a lot of trouble for that.
40 years later, he's the smoother, gentler version than it used to be when he was throwing my bike off the sewer block. 10 years from now, what are you doing? What do you got?
10 years, I'm going to be in the best shape of my life. That's the goal.
You're gonna stay working out.
Yeah, but I'm going to
Yeah.
be in the best shape of my life at 65. Like I'm still getting there,
Let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
Okay, you've been going to Pilates. I've seen you there. Okay, I've been going. You've seen me there.
You're gonna bust my balls right now? Is this where we're leading to? Hey, I'm the first to admit it, everybody. I have not been there. So don't give me any crap right now.
We're looking for you.
busted my chops the other day. When you two schmoes got out of the car out here,
All right.
you were busting my chops.
Yep, yeah. No, I got you. So I just want to ask, how many hours did you time clock in this?
This week?
No, not Pilates time
Where?
clock, not surfing time clock,
Where?
like actual labor. Click, click.
Very little.
Yeah, thank you. End of story. I appreciate that.
And in 10
I
years,
tell you the truth.
Yeah.
by then I should be a grandfather, right?
Oh, and
Yeah.
this is the
You know,
best.
like yourself. How's
I
it
love
going?
it. I love it. No, it's amazing. FaceTime makes being a grandparent the best. Yeah, because no matter where in the world they
You
are,
can see him every day.
yeah, it's amazing. And sending little things in the mail. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the race car.
I bet you're
Yeah.
pretty good at that.
Yeah, it's great.
And so, and really to really enjoy life, like not stress out about like I have a little tech problem with data entry and stuff. I'm just not going to let little stuff bother me, and move on with like living, like like I did today. Today was a full great day with us as friends, getting to catch up with life and everything. I just want to be around my family and bring new school is old school, which means tech is done. Like, I don't want to text. I don't want to see you on Instagram. I want you to come to my house. The problem I'm seeing with the last 10 years, this tech sucks. Everyone is super connected, but no one's seen each other for 10 years. No one's come by my house in 2 years.
Yeah.
I get a lot of, wait, hold on. I got a lot of likes today on this thing.
I need a pro.
I got even some hearts. It's like, oh, baby boys, but no one came by, no one called.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
How's
before
that?
we go-
So in 10 years, I want to see this stupid tech world get back to the old school, which we did earlier. Hugs, talks,
Talking in person.
what's really going on? How are you really doing?
How you feeling?
Don't give me bullshit. Like, I want to know the real deal.
Ping pong tournaments,
Yeah.
street
Correct.
football. By the way, him playing street football is a joy to watch. I tell you what.
What do you mean street football?
We used
I
to
don't
play. We
remember.
used to play football on 36th Avenue.
I can't
back
play
in the
very
day.
well.
No, it was great to watch. That's why. You're an amazing surfer, not very good at football.
Or basketball.
Who do you want to thank before we end the show tonight? Is there somebody in your life that you look back on and say, "Hey, thanks"?
Like
Anybody.
Well,
in your
Tracy
life.
for starters, definitely. My in-laws, Kelly and Bill. My father, who's alive and well, we call Dinosaur.
How old?
He'll be 80. Actually, just turned 80.
Wow.
Oh, he'll be 80 this month, so it's his birthday, his 80th birthday.
Awesome.
Doc Scott,
Oh,
Randy French, Rufo, Flea, Kelly Slater for the wave pool.
thanks, bro.
No, you guys let me know. I'm just telling you, I've been there twice. I will go there any chance I can get. And that's why I'm training to be the best shape of my life, because of what I experienced there. And I just surfed there a month ago today.
With
or
Kelly
close-
from Monterey.
No,
and I went with Kelly, and I went to Kelly's wave pool, right? Second time. We all know where it is.
Well,
we know it's
and Adam
expensive.
said he got slammed and he got beatings there.
And Pete hit his knee. He told me, "Hey, watch out," because I even got coaching from Pete. Hey, how do you surf the place, right? Pete Mel, and it's pretty tricky because I went with a lot of beginner surfers last time, and the first time I went with really good surfers. So the way you surf that pool is you surf it in the pocket and you surf it in the tube. And if you surf it all in front, any beginner can make it the whole wave. You're just not doing anything.
Yeah, shoulder boulder.
So
yeah.
that's not the time to go in and get some poaching, because you get 10 waves for 5,500, and then any poaching you get their waves, and I got hardly nothing last time, but I had the best time of my life just because.
You want people to fall in the barrel.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But you want that wave to be even more consistent, and we're going to go to more wave pools in Waco, the Bay Area. They're coming everywhere. I would rather just surf those places and give me my 1 hour, and I'll be done by 7 a.m. every day. Okay, I'll take that, and I'll pay $100,000 a year for it too.
Sign them up, everybody.
Right? Like whatever
Neil?
it is.
That's it right there.
The legend.
The guy who ran Pleasure Point is straight to the wave pool.
Exactly.
Hey,
Sign me up.
no hassle, no fuss.
Marcel, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah,
Marcel.
hey, you guys have been wonderful.
Thanks
Thanks
so
for
much.
having me.
We had a
Love
great
you.
night. We had a great night.
Neil, new
Next
show.
Week, next week, he's leaving town. He quit his job.
Chief Andy Mills.
Andy Mills is coming on the show.
Boom.
Sarah Gerhardt's coming on the show.
Right on.
First woman to surf Mavs.
Nice.
Sarah's a legend.
Dr. Gail Newell.
Wow.
with-
Our health director here in Santa
our
Cruz
health-
County
our
coming
health
back.
officer, Yep.
You
Yep.
better get Randy French on the show.
I talked to Randy.
Randy, he's coming. He was
What about
here.
your boy Wingnut?
Wingnut's not coming on.
Yeah.
Neil,
Yes.
thank you. We're back at the boardroom.
Back at the boardroom. It's
Okay.
great to see
I
you.
like
Thank
this.
you guys.
Yeah.
Thank
Marcel,
you. Thank you.
come on.
Easy. Love you.
Yeah.
Mwah.
We go way back, everybody. We will see you
Marcel.
next week with Chief Andy Mills right here at the boardroom. Good night, Neil.
Good night.
Angela. Oh, whenever you're